I like click subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This movie's called Awake. After a global event wipes out humanity's ability to sleep, a troubled ex-soldier fights to save her family as society and her mind spiral into chaos. So it's one of those sci-fi dramas that came out this year. It's about an hour and a half. Spoiler alert, let's get it. So we start with this chick, Gina. She's just going to work, working night shifts and all that. She avoids this lady coming down the hall by the name of Martina. Then she sneaks into some room and grabs a bunch of pills. So the next day she can sell them to this guy and get some cash. Ends up selling to these guys, who we will see again in this movie. When she gets home, she's sleeping outside in her car. And she gets waken up by grandma. And she's got a daughter named Matilda and a son named Noah. So as they're driving and Matilda's falling asleep, all of a sudden the power goes out in her car. The sheriff car goes off the road, then all of a sudden another car's about to hit them and knocks their whole shit into the water. They get up to the surface, but then they're looking for Matilda, like where'd she go? Turns out police already got to the surface and was giving a CPR. They saved her life. It turns out the entire town lost power because of some type of solar flare incident, and everybody's all fucked up in the hospital. Jill gets herself cleaned up at the hospital. Then this lady's happy that her husband is awake. And then this guy wakes up too. Now, why is it a big deal these people are waking up? You'd have thought something happened where they were in comas or something and then they woke up, but no. It's because most of these people are being sleep deprived and they can't really sleep even if they want to. So if you guessed the drugs she was taking from a job were sleep aids, you guessed correctly. So she looks out the window, sees all these people looking at the chaos. And because Jill can't sleep, she decides to meditate. So that's why when she asks her, are you trying to sleep, it becomes a real important issue. You got people out here partying on the streets because why not? They said, fuck it, if they can't sleep, might as well party. So he's fussing with Jill, like, come on, man, let's get some pills. You know I got double the money on these streets, man. He's like, shit, ain't nobody sleeping, I might as well get them high. She's like, all right, I'll see what I can do. Now, buildings and cars and everything else have been knocked out of power, but for some apparent reason, these military cars work just fine. She went to the spot trying to get some more drugs again, but then it was getting caught by Marina. But Marina weighs the boys off. Come to find out, she was actually part of the service a while ago, but since then she's been retired. So they tell her the situation about the sleep deprivation, and they're actually testing out this one old lady's blood because this particular person has the ability to still sleep. So basically the symptoms for not being able to sleep, after a while people start seeing things, they start losing a certain part of their brains, and then eventually they just start lashing out, which is going to lead to a lot of people ended up dying. So they're testing out this one lady's blood that they have at the lab to hopefully find a cure. Then I guess it came to at the last minute, she realized that Matilda was able to sleep last night. So she hurried back over to the house, but said Matilda was gone. Noah was like she went with her grandmother to the church. And then this guy's preaching a sermon talking about we were all just meant to be awake, I guess. And Matilda's just chilling in the back of the church. The pastor finds out she's able to sleep. The pastor tells her a story about how he used to take drugs. He used to inject all types of stuff in his arms. But now he's been saved. Now, what does that have to do with Matilda's plight? Absolutely nothing. While they all ready to go to the church, they see people out here purging, people just wilding out in the streets going crazy. And then by the dumpster, they see a foot. They pull off the cardboard to see a dead cop. That same cop that helped Matilda. So yeah, they need to hurry up and find baby girl. They finally get to the church and everybody's all restless. See what I did there? Restless, because they can't get no sleep. Anyway, Matilda's getting scared. Everybody's going crazy. This guy's trying to talk sense to the people. This police officer just bangs him in the back of his head. Done deal, dead. Everybody's screaming and going crazy, but they all trying to run for Matilda. But they lose her on the trail and Jill finds her. He says, man, we can't let her leave. And then he starts banging off on everybody. So after they get away, they gotta make it to this spot called the Hub. I guess it's a place where the military is supposed to be working on a cure, but they need to find a way to get to an old school car or something. Yeah, so the military cars were all metal. Whatever it knocked out through the town was like solar power. So she sneaks in back through the garage that they was at the beginning. But those dudes in there end up killing her buyer. It's like, oh shit. Don't even ask me how she did it. While they were working on cars, she snuck around and grabbed a bunch of keys. So they happened to dip off in one car. Unfortunately, she had the right keys to this other car. So basically, they drive it to the Hub at this point. It's like nighttime. But they stop at what looks like a car accident. And so whatever else happened on the road. She goes towards it, end up being the dudes at the shop. He's like shot all the way the fuck up. And his man's a done deal dead too. And he just happened to have the police badge on too, indicating that he did kill the cop. She takes his gun and they go about their business. Later on, Jill discusses with Noah that Matilda's got to be ready for this world, just in case if they're not around to protect her. Next morning, they cross by this area with a bunch of naked people just standing in the middle of the street. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's like, what kind of Wicker Man shit is this? Anyway, they make it to this random town and stop in a public library. She tells Matilda to read as many books as she can, and then she's gonna teach her how to shoot a gun. But Matilda don't want nothing to do with guns. Then she shows her exactly how to shoot a gun. Unbeknownst to her, Noah was in the fucking library too, like what? She thought he was waiting in the car. I was like, damn, you could have blown his head off. Anyway, afterwards, they start looking for maps. While Matilda gets back in the car and goes to sleep. While that's going down, fucking inmates done broke out of some jail. One of them breaks away from the pack and starts getting closer towards the car. They spot them niggas, but it's too late. Oh no, they got Matilda. And now it's just two of them and a bunch of convicts. And most of them are all sleep deprived. Oh boy. Luckily for her, the guy came back. But obviously, he don't trust this nigga and he shouldn't. He somehow turned the tables on her, but it's like, ain't no bullets in that gun anyway. He's like, alright, whatever, I'm gonna get me a change of clothes, and I'm keeping the keys too. You ain't gonna leave me. Said, fuck that, he ain't stupid. Well, anyway, also while they're here, they're lucky to see a gas tank, and they gotta suck the gasoline out to put it in the car. He's talking to her trying to figure out what they're gonna do, but he ends up finding some clothes. He's like, alright, bet. So now you got fresh clothes, fresh gear. So he's like, where y'all niggas headed at? He's like, we're going to the hub. He's like, alright, well, we're going the same direction. I'll ride with y'all. And now mom's teaching Matilda how to drive. We find out a dude's named Dodge, and he starts telling them all these random stories. Then they get to this triangle pyramid sitting in the middle of the road. Kind of find out some crazy guy sitting on top of it. These niggas got people hanging from there. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, you're not Kansas anymore. Turn around, get the fuck out. They was trying to snatch niggas up, but then they bossed up and got the fuck out of there. So finally they reach their destination. That light up ahead is where the hub is. But she's gonna make sure her kids stay at a certain location around the corner from there. And she tells him he can roll out. He's like, man, you sure? He's like, alright, I'm about to just dip out then. So mom's about to go on a solo mission, make sure the hub is safe and figure out what the fuck is going on around there. So the hub is filled up with nothing but military people. She got the code from somebody and snuck her way in. She was able to get to the lady that can actually sleep and tells her he needs her to watch after Matilda and Noah and all that. She says that she could barely take care of herself and she's not even sure the tests are even working. Then she runs into Marina. Come to find out all the tests aren't really working. And they're thinking to themselves they're pretty much gonna die, but they're not giving up hope yet. But just when Jill is pretty much giving up all hope, this nigga Dodge comes back and crashes through and brings Matilda and Noah there. I guess he felt like he had nowhere else to go and he had no choice. Well, anyway, the doctors are basically just gonna run tests on her. They've been trying to test out a damn monkey who, yes, they cut half his head open and yes, he's still alive. And before you even say it, yes, that shit ain't working neither. So at this point, they had Jill and Noah locked in a room. They've been asleep for about 18 hours, hyperventilating, all this type of shit. Marina had no choice because the sleep deprivation was definitely getting to both of them. And because Dodge has never been able to sleep like that, he's been able to hold out a little longer. And they gotta inject something into his head. I just noticed something. He was in that movie Stowaway. I didn't even realize that till just now. Another movie review I did too. You better check that shit out. Anyway, while they tried to do the experiments, the old lady they had ended up dying. It was like, oh shit. Meanwhile, Jill is having visions about Noah killing her. See, she's tripping because Noah's actually locked up right next to her. Then this one dude outside starts wilding and starts shooting shit. Now, sleep deprivation has people seeing shit. Imagine what's going through military heads' minds. So everybody's going crazy, niggas murking niggas, everybody getting laid out. Even Marina ended up dying. Noah's talking about dad taught him how to fish, but he's digging through fucking power lines. Noah ends up getting shocked like what the fuck. So they get the heart starters to start his heart back up. And the shock ended up pushing them back and knocking out Matilda. Next morning, destruction, carnage, everybody dead. Except the family, they all woke up, everybody good. This nigga came out of nowhere like, hey, who y'all? Y'all good? He's like, yeah, we good, don't shoot, nigga. And then they get the mom back to the car. Jill like, she's suffering right now, a lot of sleep deprivation. Then Matilda picked up this bag, she was thinking about something. And it gave her a premonition. She was like, I was resuscitated back to life and now I can sleep. You got resuscitated back to life and now you feeling good. So they're thinking they want to do the same thing to mom. So basically they're going to drown her and then bring her back to life. Which they do, but then you think she's like, oh shit, she might be dead for real. Then it gives us a close up and the last thing you hear is... So basically they brought her back to life. But to what kind of world? An ugly one. Awake on Netflix. Check it out. Like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Slick, easy, mister. Big. Could you got that slogan?